When you think of the word scary, you may think of some truly terrifying things, like of course Ratcoin or Barry Silbert standing outside your house at night asking you to short Dogecoin. Truly terrible, disgusting, despicable things like those are obviously things you don't want to think about too much, but there's something way more terrifying, way more despicable, way more gross and disgusting than all of that combined, and that is of course the truly terrifying inflation. Inflation is the way for you to lose all of your money that you work so hard for without even doing anything. You can literally just have it sitting there in your pocket, in your bank account, and you can be losing money when the government decides to print, I don't know, 30 to 40% of the entire monetary supply currently in circulation in a matter of around a year or so. That is truly terrifying, and that shows you exactly why you should be scared of what the government is capable of, what they have the power to do, because it's causing crazy things to happen. Right now, the US dollar is still holding stronger than I believe it's going to. Once we start to see the floodgates come in, the US dollar will have a path that could look something like this. This right here is even more scary. This right here is what has happened with Argentina, which if you thought the US government was doing a bad job when it comes to inflation, oh boy, you haven't seen Argentina yet. Take a look at this. Argentina, truly an actual monster, is at play here. The Argentinian government is perhaps one of the worst. It is one of the worst in the entire world when it comes to managing money. They have no clue what the heck they're doing. They consistently make terrible decisions. The US government is too, but I mean, this is even on another level, unfortunately, for the people of Argentina, which there are a lot of great people who live there, by the way, so it's sad to see this, but you can see this is what their Argentinian currency has done. It has fallen from October 9th, 2004, being at around 0.34, now all the way down to 0.011, more than a 50x drop. And even just in the last 5 years, we have seen more than a 10x drop from 0.65 all the way down to 0.88. So a huge, massive fall, approximately 10x, like I said, downwards for the Argentinian currency. And what does this leave the people of Argentina to do? Because it's not just, oh yeah, it happened, it's still continuing to go down, still continuing to fall. This, by the way, is in comparison with US dollar, which is also facing inflation. So the actual numbers of Argentinian currency going down are even worse than this, because the dollar has also gone down a lot in that time as well. So it's really fascinating just to see this here. That's why it looks a little bit more flat there, simply because the dollar has also been going down in proportion, and this is in comparison to the dollar. So that just gives you an idea of just how bad it is. But what if there was something that could actually save the day here? What if there was a way to take the power out of the government's hands and put it into the hands of the people? What if there was perhaps a cute dog currency that could save the day here? Well, you guessed it, that's starting to happen right now in Argentina, where we are seeing them embracing cryptocurrency in a big way. This article coming out, why Argentina is embracing cryptocurrency. I'll go ahead and get to that in a second here. First, let's take a look real quick at this right here. By the way, if you have not subscribed with the notifications on, I would highly recommend you do that. This is the place to come. We have had some of the biggest conversations across the internet when it comes to cryptocurrency. I am talking right now with a lot of high-profile people online. Right now, our Twitter account is up to almost 600,000 followers. We are talking with high-profile people in the crypto industry, high-profile people in the financial industry, CEOs of big exchanges, people who have high amounts of influence, and we are trying to figure out the best path forward for our community. So if you want to be part of that, if you want to join the strongest community on the internet, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency, then definitely come and be part of this channel. I'd highly recommend it. But this right here is the dollar by comparison. You can see the dollar has gone down from $100 to $1 in terms of purchasing power, as referenced to it being worth $1. Now it has gone down that much since 1913. We've seen that happen with the Argentinian dollar in only about 20 years, what's taken 100 years for the United States dollar to do. And a lot of that, by the way, happened right away after the Fed is created right there, basically almost all of it. And since then, it has been a steady decline from 1943 all the way until now, with it leveling out just a little bit down there in terms of purchasing power. You can also see all the different recessions that have happened. Fed's created, Wall Street crash, Bretton Woods agreement, then you see oil crisis, second oil crisis, dot-com bubble right there, And multiple things along those lines as we start to look at it. Then it shows Lethem, Brothers collapse, and Q&E. Some of these things seem like they're a little bit out of place, but nonetheless, this gives you a great idea of what's happened with the dollar in comparison to other currencies. But that is why we need cryptocurrency more than ever, because it does offer that hedge against inflation. And by the way, Dogecoin, Bitcoin have a similar inflation rate per year right now, but both of those have that percentage going down over time. And with Dogecoin, in not that long from now, we are going to see the inflation rate going down to a point where it's almost not even noticeable. You want to have some amount of inflation because it encourages spending and actually makes it a better currency, but you don't want that inflation to be too high. And you may see also on the thumbnail, what did I put? I put $5.59 on the thumbnail, and the reason for that is because that would be where Dogecoin will go if it was to pass Bitcoin's current market cap. If Dogecoin's market cap of around 18 billion was to pass Bitcoin's market cap of around 770 billion, then we would see it passing $5.59, and that right there is the target. That's the goal, because right now Dogecoin has way more support than Bitcoin's ever had in terms of high-profile people. That's technically something that could be argued, but at the same time, a lot of the people who have supported Bitcoin supported it temporarily and then kind of waned off. People like Elon Musk, people like Vlad Tinif, people like Vitalik Buterin, people like the CEOs of other large exchanges who I'm talking to right now, they still continue to support Dogecoin long term and want to build good use case for it, want to build long-term sustainability when it comes to Doge. So that right there just goes to show you the path forward. That goes to show you exactly what we can expect for Dogecoin and why it has the ability, especially considering the fact that there are close to as many holders of Dogecoin as Bitcoin in the United States. That shows you where the future is. That shows you the paths that are capable of being explored. So it's exciting on so many different levels. There really is. But Argentina right now, you can see for Jerome Ferrer, a formative memory is as of Argentina's crushing financial crisis at the end of 1990. You can see that on the chart there, where just absolutely basically evaporated. The bank accounts were frozen, and almost overnight, people's savings were just simply gone. You've been working your whole life for something to see it disappear. Now, people are starting to turn to crypto as a way to hold assets. Dogecoin is being used. Bitcoin is being used a lot as well, primarily Bitcoin actually, because it is the most well-known one and the easiest one to purchase at this current point in time. You can basically purchase it on any exchange, and even on a lot of places that don't even consider themselves to be a crypto exchange, like PayPal, for example. You can purchase Bitcoin on PayPal and Cash App and through things like that, which is actually pretty fascinating. So it won't. It sounds cool though. I'm not sure what did he comment there. Let me go ahead and go back and read this here. I need to rise soon. Need the money ASAP, says Christopher Kelly. Unfortunately, for people who need money ASAP, you may not want to look at cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is, well, you can make money fast in that. Actually, there are a few ways. If you need money ASAP, what you could consider doing is trading cryptocurrency on the chart, but you cannot predict the exact moment when it's going to spike. You have to be a long-term holder to have the highest percentage chance of big gains. Now, is it possible we could get lucky and we could see Dogecoin going crazy tomorrow based on a massive Elon Musk announcement? Absolutely, it's possible. And as it starts to get closer, the moon landing is this year, you should not be too far away from that. But just to be completely and totally straightforward and honest, everyone should understand that you cannot get rich overnight as a guarantee in any capacity, in any way in cryptocurrency. It's just the way of the market. It's the way it is, especially when the market's down to some degree. You have to be a little bit more careful at that point. But that doesn't mean there are not ways to make a lot of money in the market and to see yourself become wealthy. I just would not recommend relying on that as your primary source of income without having anything as a backup. You need to have a backup in place. And then at that point, if you want to dabble your way into becoming a full-time crypto trader, you absolutely can. It just takes a high level of skill, and you can absolutely get that. Don't get me wrong, you can. Just make sure you have something to fall back on until you get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, then you can start doing it at a full-time level. Also, once we do see some of these major cryptocurrency runs that are coming, we're basically in the early stage, and we will have an opportunity to actually invest that money even further as it grows and actually build up a nest egg that can last for life, which is extremely exciting. In my opinion, it should be. There's no reason you should not be looking forward to that. Doge is undervalued, says Jason Ellison. I happen to agree with you there. It is undervalued as heck. Very undervalued indeed. In fact, so undervalued to the point that I would say it is more undervalued than the simple joy of reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid as a kid. I mean, what a beautiful book. Just truly fun to read. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't like reading that much. I mean, I liked some books occasionally, but Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I mean, I truly enjoyed that. I would love to go play on the playground instead of reading books, which is a completely, totally random tangent. Why am I talking about this? What does that have to do with cryptocurrency? Absolutely nothing. I don't know why I'm talking about it. But yeah, I used to go, it was the only book that I would rather you could play sports on the playground, or you could go read. So I would rather read that book than play sports, which is the only time that's ever happened in my entire life. Otherwise, I'd rather play sports. It's more fun. But books can be fun too. I mean, I like books more as I'm older. As you start to get older, you start to realize, okay, there's value to it. You can learn a lot. But when you're a kid, it's much harder to find a passion for something along the lines of books, especially when you happen to have a very active mind in terms of thinking about things. It may be a little boring to read. Videos are more fun, actually, in my opinion. Matt, I want to be the first one to buy a Tesla with Doge and ship it to Costa Rica, says Steward. That's awesome. Obviously, buying a Tesla with Dogecoin is just going to be one of the most glorious and fun possible things you can do on this planet. When it does come true that Tesla is accepting Dogecoin, it will be a beautiful, beautiful day. And not just Dogecoin for cars. I also want them to accept Dogecoin for insurance, for fixing your car. There are plenty of ways that Tesla's going to make long-term revenue. Selling cars is one thing, but one thing you have to consider when it comes to selling cars is they already are extremely backed up with orders. They don't have a problem with demand, they have a problem with supply. So because of that, there's actually a way higher upside for Dogecoin of Tesla accepting it, not just for cars. Well, cars for the future once they start to catch up production-wise, but in the short term, there's more of an advantage for them accepting Dogecoin for every single other product and service they offer that continues to happen on a regular basis. That's really where the real excitement is, and that money can be used to pay employees in Dogecoin who opt in for that, which is an actual use case. That is. People like Dogecoin, it's fun, so why not have your company accept it, then actually use that Dogecoin to pay people. Therefore, no one has to actually sell the Doge. The company can still use it and can pay people with it. Boom, boom, boom. Use case presented and solved. This chat coming in, Matt. Oh yeah, I love that from Stuart. Thank you for the super chat as well. Doge is mega undervalued. It says Bible error. Okay, I to be honest, I don't. What's the deal with your name? I don't like your name. I'll look at it. Just maybe I'm thinking the wrong thing of it. But if you just don't, I mean, hating on things that are important to people like that, especially because there's so many nuances, I don't really think that's a smart thing to do or a good idea. So I don't know why you picked that as your name or what the deal is with that. But boom baby boom, says Brendan Johnson. Then so Elon talked about Dogecoin, says Bobby J, who is a member on the channel and has Elon Musk next to his name. Yes, Elon Musk has talked about Dogecoin many times, and has he talked about it again recently? Absolutely. He's still been continuing to talk about it, to include it in stuff, and to really just show us why he's so devoted to Doge. It makes sense. Why wouldn't he be? Who wouldn't be? It's fun. Well, there's already BTC credit cards, says Ash Ketchum, and Doge is ultra super mega undervalued, says Brendan Johnson. I like that one better. You should all know and understand that Doge could go to 0.01 and it could go to $1. No one knows when this will happen or if it will happen. I bought 130k Doge, an average price of 0.145 HODL. Nice. So some people who are buying around this price, it does seem like you may be out of hope or out of luck if you miss the Dogecoin train. However, that's what people have thought hundreds of times in the past. The Dogecoin train is not only something you haven't missed, it's barely even left the station. That's the beautiful part about Dogecoin. That's why we did put such a high number on the thumbnail there in terms of Dogecoin's price. It's exciting. ETH credit card, let's go. Buterin Vitalik, says Ash Ketchum again. And oh, the Tesla meeting as well, says Bobby J. Oh yeah, that was fun. I covered the entire thing live. It lasted for about an hour or so, maybe a little bit over an hour. And in that, they talked about some of the future plans for Tesla and how they're on track for some monstrous numbers in terms of the stock itself. It actually is, to be honest, it is an overvalued stock, just simply because of the sheer publicity Elon Musk is capable of commanding, because of the fact that it's an electric car company and people see that as the future and see it as a big opportunity. It has gotten an absolutely massive amount of people pouring money in. Now, the crazy thing is, that doesn't mean the stock can't go up more, because that same level of energy per the amount of money they're bringing in as a company could continue to go up, which could lead to Tesla going even higher. That is not out of the question whatsoever, even though in terms of dividends and in terms of the money you receive back by holding Tesla stock, you do not have your value there or anywhere close to it. In terms of the value that it can go up over time, that right there is still at a high level. And I personally am very excited to see what happens with Tesla stock, even though I am perhaps maybe a slight bit worried that it could fall some, which I would not like to see, because Elon Musk having more influence and more financial power to do cool things for Dogecoin is obviously a big benefactor to our community. We like that a lot, right? And by the way, he doesn't abuse it, right? He doesn't abuse his financial power. He uses it in ways that's actually positive. He uses it to help the world. He uses it to make transportation, space travel, everything move forward in a nice way. It's not too late. Doge can still make lots of people happy and wealthy. To the moon, says Stuart Ghana. I like the sound of that. I think you're 100% right there. There's no question about it. If you question that, then what the heck are you doing? Anyway, hopefully you subscribe with the notifications on. You can press the like button if you want to. I'm Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.